The last human. Picture this. 4 million years ago, a small, frightened creature stood up on two legs for the very first time. It didn't know what it was doing. It wasn't thinking about survival, or legacy, or the future of its species. It was just standing, trembling, scanning the tall African grass for predators that could swallow it whole. That creature was your ancestor. And here you are, reading, thinking, breathing, questioning your own existence in a way no other animal on this planet has ever been able to do. But let me ask you something, and I want you to really sit with this question. Are you the final version? To understand where humans are going, we first have to understand the engine that built us, evolution. Most people think evolution is a straight line. A fish becomes a lizard becomes a monkey becomes you, simple, clean, and pointing forward like an arrow. But that is not how it works, not even close. Evolution is not a plan. It has no goal. It has no designer sitting at a desk, sketching out the perfect human. Evolution is brutal, random, and mercilessly patient. Here is the real mechanism, stripped down to its core. Every time a living thing reproduces, it passes on its genes. But the copy is never perfect. Small errors, called mutations, sneak in. Most of those mutations do nothing. Some are harmful. But occasionally, very occasionally, one mutation gives that creature a tiny edge. Maybe it sees slightly better in low light. Maybe its immune system responds faster to a certain bacteria. Maybe it can digest a new food source that others cannot. That creature survives longer, it reproduces more. It passes that tiny edge to its offspring. And over thousands of generations, that tiny edge spreads through the entire population until it is no longer a mutation. It is just normal. But here is the part that most people miss. Evolution does not care what is impressive. It does not care what is strong or beautiful or intelligent in the way we think of intelligence. It only cares about one thing. What works right now in this environment. That is the key word. Environment. Evolution is not a ladder climbing toward perfection. It is a mirror, constantly reflecting the world around it. When the African savanna dried out 3 million years ago and forests shrunk into open grasslands, our ancestors who could walk upright had an enormous advantage. They could spot predators over tall grass. They could carry food with freed hands. They could travel farther. The environment changed. And the creatures who fit that change survived. Those who did not, did not. So now the real question. What is our environment today? Because if evolution is a mirror of the world around us, then what is it reflecting back right now? Think about it. For almost all of human history, the environment was ruthless. If you were born with weak eyesight, you could not hunt and you might starve. If you were born with a compromised immune system, a common infection could kill you at age 7. If you were born too small, too slow, or with a heart defect, nature would not wait around. It would simply remove you from the equation. But today, you can be born with poor eyesight, put on a pair of glasses, and become a surgeon. You can be born with a life-threatening heart condition, have surgery at 6 months old, grow up, fall in love, and have children of your own. You can have an immune system that would have killed you in medieval times. And today you take a small pill every morning and live to 90. Medicine, technology, and civilization have done something extraordinary. They have softened the filter. And this is where scientists begin to seriously disagree. One school of thought says, humans have effectively stopped evolving. Natural selection, the engine of evolution, requires that certain traits lead to death before reproduction. But modern medicine has made that increasingly rare. When almost everyone survives to have children, the filter disappears. And without the filter, the engine stalls. In this version of the future, humans do not become dramatically different. We stay roughly as we are, perhaps for millions of years, preserved in biological amber by the very intelligence that saved us.